What's up, you guys? How you guys doing? I want to make this short video to talk about Beyonce's formation thing. I just watched the video and the Super Bowl performance. I'm not much of a football fan, so I watched a little Super Bowl, but I didn't watch the halftime show or anything. But I just want to say that's not racism. A lot of people don't know what racism is. That's just showing more pride. I mean, Black Panthers. For one, I want to talk about the video, and I want to talk about the Super Bowl thing. Beyonce had long blonde fake hair. That's not that's not showing any type of pride for one. I mean, blonde hair is more like a European thing, and it's also showing like she talked about the natural hair, whatever, nappy hair and big nostrils thing, which is cool and all. But for her to have like a big blonde wig on, that's like defeating the purpose to me. Like you like your daughter's hair like that, but your hair is not like that. So what are you setting an example for your daughter? It doesn't make sense to me. Now she would have been more powerful if she stopped wearing that type of stuff and just embrace her inner beauty. But our society, we have this thing like true beauty comes from blonde hair and blue eyes. You can look at it all day, you know. The girl next door, 9 times out of 10, she's a blonde haired chick with blue eyes. And to me, this is really something almost you want to look at the Hitler in it still, because Hitler said the perfect humans was blonde hair, blue eyed people. A lot of people don't want to think about these different type of things. They just want to look at it with not thinking, with no type of logic to it. So let me wrap back up the video and stuff. Like the song is not talking about anything. She's talking about one little line is talking about having big nostrils like Jackson 5, which her nose is not like that. I mean, I got a big nose. I mean, I don't care about it. I got big lips. I got all the African features. I really don't care about, because to me, I'm still a beautiful person. As well as you people watching this video. I don't care what color you are, black, white, or whatever. But to talk about that stuff is because it's shunned as a bad thing. People are getting plastic surgery all the time and stuff. We just not trying to get big lips, which they don't want to embrace that as being a black thing now. But people is getting a getting surgery. Michael Jackson for one, to make their nose look different and different type of stigmas like that. So to talk about that like it's a racism thing is really not. And back to the Super Bowl performance, her dressing up in the Black Panther gear and stuff. The Black Panthers are not a racist party. They did not start off as a racist party. It's a self-defense party. And people want to compare that to like the flag, the heritage flag or whatever you want to call it, the Confederate flag. And people like the white person did some stuff like that. When people do not look at the history of what white people done. Like when it comes to other ethnicities that's not black or that's not white, we all had to fight for some type of thing, some type of rights. Civil rights moves and slavery was not that long ago. It was 100 years ago. It was not 400 years ago. It's a 400 path, a 400 timeline that lasted. It just stopped really 1960s when we get 1964, I believe, is when we first got our civil rights. You can't sit there and say that racism did not exist and it just wiped away just because over a 50-year time span. This stuff still is instilled and it's still a real thing, and people need to realize that stuff. And people really need to realize what white pride is. When you say you have white pride, it's not the same as saying you have black pride. Black pride, Black Panthers, and all that stuff comes from self-defense. White pride, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, you shouldn't have pride or anything like that. But when it comes to the Klan members and the flag and stuff, that comes from killing innocent people just because the color of their skin. From tarring people with feathers, from hitting people with stones and stuff like that. That type of stuff happened, and some of it still a little bit happened today. Us getting killed by the cops and stuff, it happened before and it's still happening today. And if you go back and listen to the music, because music is timeless. Like I had a meme I made about this. You got Marvin Gaye, trigger happy polices. Oh, you make me wanna holler and do my time. How the lyrics go? He talks about killing police there. Gil Scott Heron talk about police killing us there. Tupac talking about police killing us there. What's his name? Flavor Flav, Public Enemy talk about police killing us there. So on and so on. Even Killing Jamar's talking about nah. Yeah, but though have been hurt before. When the killers in the street before. I mean, this stuff happens and it continues to happen, and it will not wipe away until people realize the truth of this stuff. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about the police history and stuff like that, but what I want to say is her showing the Black Panthers is not a racist thing. It's more of a pride thing. It's not like she's going up there and saying, kill this white people, kill this white person. And at the end, you can see her on there with her hands around dancing by a white person. I mean, if she was a racist, then she wouldn't even be by that white person. She'd be like, no, get him off the stage. Beyonce been in performing for years, so she have enough power to do that type of stuff. I think a lot of people do not think with their mind, do not think with no type of intelligence at all. People just see one little thing and think, oh, that's racist, when it's not racist. I mean, true racism you can see when it's happening. I mean, I experience it, and I'm sure any other black person experiences it, but a lot of white people need, like, I'm not going to say a lot, I'm going to say some, because it's kind of generalizing. I know people are, they are, that type of stuff, but some white people out there really do not want to see the truth of it because they're not experiencing it. I believe it said, like, some statistics said about 75% of white people do not believe racism exists. I mean, just because you're not experiencing it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And just because someone else shows pride, you got to realize the history of what people have been going through, and people still go through today. I mean, it is what it is. Like I told this white person before, I mean, it's not a bad thing to have pride in yourself, but realize what that's showing. The white power was more of a hatred thing. So if you look at, like, people don't want to look at the roots or the history about anything with us, with any human activity or any human history, what I'm trying to say. Like, if you look up at the roots and where things started at, they continue to move on and carry on the tradition throughout the future, whatever, or the present, whatever you want to say, future, present, whatever. But as you, as a person, you have to supposed to change the bad within the roots, or whatever you want to say. If with anything, I'm not just talking about race, but anything in general. Like, if you look at sports teams and different things like that, since we want to talk about Super Bowl, I don't know much about football, but I know about basketball. So I can talk about, Lakers, Showtime Lakers and stuff. Always had flashy players, always had, like, all-star players. So now you got the Kobe's and stuff. That's their tradition. Their tradition is have, like, the best players, the Flash and LA and stuff like that. And they still trying to bring back, like, the Showtime stuff. People still try to bring back the roots. And the same thing goes with Klans members, white pride, black pride and stuff. If you get what I'm saying with this, then you understand what I'm talking about. I just want to talk about how, it wasn't racism or whatever. I'm going to end this video. I don't want to talk too much about too much stuff because I know how people are. And I also want to say how racism plays. Just now, people can watch this video and call me a racist because I'm talking about being pride, because I have long hair right here and stuff. People try to sit there and try to say something about me. It's really messed up, because if black people, we have any type of pride and show that, we're not standing for some of this stuff that happened, they continually happen. It happened in the past and it's happening now, and the people call us racism, or call us racist. I want to make another video about how people just blame the victim because it's the easy way out. I hope I touched on these issues and didn't go too far on too many deep things. I'm just waking up, so this is just on top of the head. I gotta do some more stuff. It kind of got me pumped up to do more, so share and spread love, y'all, and peace. Oh yeah, I also want to talk about this. No one said nothing about the black guy on there twerking and stuff, feminized the black man, cutting off the head of the household. No one says nothing about that type of stuff. No one says anything about how sports athletes like DeAndre Jordan and Chris Paul and all of them are on State Farm wearing wigs and dresses. But if you look at the white athletes, they get to wear the hot dogs. I mean, I know you guys seen the commercial. I'm gonna try to pull it up for you guys. But had people in ketchup suits and mustard suits. How come they can be condiments, but we gotta be, switching gender roles and feminizing the black man, cutting off the head of the household? No one said anything with Bill Walton and other white athletes stand up to with this white supremacy and racism that black people experience, and people of color in general. People don't call them racism when they see that stuff. They look like, oh, you're being a true rebel, you're being somebody who's a revolutionary. But when people look at people of color, when they actually talk about the condition, they become the racism. But when someone who's the same color as them, when they talk about, hey, these people are experiencing that, then there's someone who's speaking the truth. I experienced it with my channel. A lot of people got mad at me when I said the Oregon and the Baltimore thing. It's the same thing. You can't just sit there and say something that's racism because you don't think it exists. Or if someone is talking about their condition, say they're racist because they're talking about their condition. If you also look at the Black Panthers, look at how they protest with guns. Did the same thing people did in Oregon. When they did it, it was a problem, and then laws and acts were passed. With people in Oregon, they can do it. Yeah, they're just people protesting. Let them go away. Things happen, and I think people need to look at it. I mean, this world we live in, the society we live in, is full of racism and sexism. It is what it is. I mean, there's nothing to really cry about. I mean, we can still fight about it, but it's something to not ignore. I mean, it is supposed to be the land of free. How come everyone isn't free? With that being said, share love and spread love. And peace, y'all.